Okay, let's make it more serious now. I said, how do we stop boys from being attracted to road life?
Wait, say that again?
How do we stop boys, young black boys, from being attracted to road life?
I heard something completely different. I was like, I ain't talking about youth grooming. Okay, cool.
No.
How do we stop boys from being attracted to road life, right? So what we have to understand and develop is, one, reestablish family values inside our families, right? If you don't have a family mission and values written somewhere, I promise you your children don't know, right? And it's very much like work. When I go into workplaces and it's like, if I ask 10 of your employees what the values of this company is, can you tell me? None of the people can. Right? So that family values and missions is the template for how you show up. Yeah. Then even if your dad isn't present, you need a community of men around your children, both genders.
Yeah. Can I go to
and women?
Actually finish.
Yeah. And that will allow them to shape and pick parts of family members that they want to build themselves in and around. Yeah. The other thing is that's at the macro and it's outside of what's happening in the family is, in this country, we do not have the generational wealth and access to jobs, to opportunities that mean that a person who would rather earn £14,000 a year selling drugs can go get a job at £14,000 a year in a psychologically safe environment.
Yeah.
So because of that disconnect, selling drugs will always be viable to them because it's like, I get to operate on my own time. But if you could make 14, 16, 25 doing a job that you actually showed up as yourself and it was seen, you would go do that. So a massive part of it is the failing in generationally in our families going off and going to buy a third house in Nigeria or Ghana and not considering really building your immediate family. And that's the one thing Europeans do. They only care about their immediate family. Yeah. There is no cousin, uncle, auntie, whatever that I need to pay school fees for. So I saw this woman saying that we didn't have a washing machine, but my dad paid for school fees for his nieces and nephews back in Nigeria. I was like, that's mad, right? So being super self-interested in and focused on providing for your internal unit is incredibly important. The amount of us that lost money or family members that lost money buying houses in Jamaica is a big problem, or having those houses taken from us by extended family. So all of that culture of sending money home,
that needs to be fought over,
all of that
absolutely,
has set us back because we didn't invest here when houses were 98k. Yeah. So because of that, it has meant that we don't control enough to be able to then say that our son is going to go into this. The road life is about freedom and possibilities. Yeah. So black people over-index where there is less barriers for access. So things like running, like athletics, football. The culture of football is dark, but I can play. If you can play, then you're going to have an opportunity. Music, acting, all of those things. It's not because it's the arts and it's glamorous and it's famous. It's because if I stand here and I deliver you a monologue and I make you feel something, I'm going to get a job as an actor. Yeah. If you say run from point A to point B and I do it faster than everybody else, I get a shoe deal. Yes? Yeah. So it's that removal of access. If you say I have to go to a building and push papers and spreadsheets around, but while I'm doing it, I'm going to be subtly negged and othered by everyone around me, and I've got to do that for 10 years straight to pay off my mortgage, then no, I can't do that. I don't have the emotional capacity and safety to do that.
Why is that? I mean, I'm asking basic questions. Why is that more scary than having someone trying to kill you?
Because you are, and the thing is, this is a power of blackness, right? You have to believe in your own self-determination. You believe you're not going to be the one that gets caught.
Right. It's just not going to be you. Yeah. I guess we have that as humans anyway. We always think it's going to be the next person.
There's a particular thing, if you're minoritized in a majority white country and you're black and you're like, you are programmed, to either fail and crush and be burnt, or I'm going to navigate it and I can do it. That's your internal voice. And if your voice is, I can do it, I can sell drugs and not get caught, not die. Right? Yeah. Not go to jail, whatever it is. What I'm saying is we need to show people other forms of existing, because the conditions that they're going to do it is always going to be psychologically unsafe. But I'm teaching my children to be abundant and entitled. I don't want them to sit there and feel like I can't, because you can and you will. Your uncle is the president of a record label. Your brother, uncle, cousin, my friends run company ships that turn over millions. The game has evolved, but the people still are in the process. Also, self-fulfilling harm and trauma continues whether we are absent, why people are absent or not. We don't honor the fact that if you have come from a home that you're the first one to go to uni, school, get married, get a house, which I was for most of those things. I found the information at fault. It wasn't fed into me. At 20, I wasn't buying a house from a powerful place. I think I got my first house at 31, right? I got married at 28. I went to uni and I was the first one to graduate. But since I graduated, 5 of my nieces, nephews, and little cousins have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It takes that vision. We're a bit behind on the schedule, but don't dismiss us generationally moving forward and improving. We also have to make sure that we don't fall so far into Britishness and whiteness that we abandon the values that ultimately keep us special.
That's hard. Yeah, but that's.
Well, it's.
I'm
if you have kids and you're not going back home, and you're not teaching them the customs like don't sit on the bed with your outside clothes, it's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. When I say that's hard, it's like I'm so lamenting the loss of traditional values.
I miss it.
Without sounding like a nationalist.
It's just a moment in time then. So this whole kind of county lines, like somehow it will be a generation or two, but then it will phase into, like we'll come out of it.
No, I think we're moving into whiteness so much, we won't even stand out as a particularly different culture. We will experience racism, but we won't have the cultural nuance that aided us in navigating it. So we're just going to sit there as lemmings at the bottom of the economic pole, taking licks to the face, begging for help from the government. I represent extreme left ideas in the public domain to create the conditions that people of color can navigate. But personally, I'm working. I'm not interested in asking. I don't exist through the lens of expectation that somebody should provide something.
Yeah.
I operate as it's just me. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And I speak for the people who do not have that information, who do not have that support, to ensure that we don't pull up the drawbridge and be like, oh, the right-wing black community is crazy.
Oi.
The conservative black community is crazy.
It's horrid.
It's like, oh, I did it, and those people who are committing crimes, they're so dismissing of the people who don't make it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I will never do that.
Yeah.
I will never do that. But if I speak to you one-on-one, I'm telling you, you're on your own, but your answer can't be this, because they are waiting to lock you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care if you die. It means nothing. All they do to report that you die is tell it so they can prove the point that your people are dying and murderers at a higher rate than anybody else. You are a platform for white supremacy. They don't care about your individual and your family. There's no aftercare. There's no GoFundMe fundraiser that happens nationwide to support those families. It's just, oh, look what black people do. Anyway, on other news, so you've got to be responsible for your own and your own individual outcomes.
Why do men, and I have to be careful because it's now offence to say things like this, why do men hold on to their hair when they shouldn't?
Look,
when they have cul-de-sac heads.
I felt like that was personal.
But you're not holding on to it.
No, I gave up at 28.
I was about to say, you have let go of your hair time ago.
We're not allowed to say the word B-A-L-D anymore.
What, bald?
Because it's a gendered term.
What, women can't be bald?
Women don't bald in the same way men bald.
And we're not allowed to say a man. I find it very difficult.
It's
a legislation.
Like, on the end of it.
Somebody got fined or sued for referring to a man in the workplace as bald, because it's a gender term that applies specifically to men, and it was being dismissive of him as a person on the basis that he is bald. Okay?
What?
Men are developing language to protect their lived experience, and it's important.
So
you're not allowed to laugh.
It's a slur.
No, it's not a slur. It depends on the context, right? But you can't be othered on the basis that you are bald.
Okay. So what do we say?
If I was to describe...
No, you can say, you can make the observation, like the same way you can make the observation that I'm black, you can say you're black. But you're not black because, and not because you're black. Right? And because you're bald, and you're bald because. That's
you're
different.
Bald because your dad went bald.
That wasn't the question, but actually, how did that become a legal thing? Because I've not had a problem with bald, because I think in the black community, men are bald for fun and for whatever, we accept it. It's very much part of us. It doesn't look like skinhead and racism. So how can I, outside of like, dissing you because we're arguing, how can I other you for being bald? I don't even have the language to other you.
I think the particular case was he was being negged or being insulted on the basis of his baldness, but the baldness that he experiences is specifically because he's a male, which is a gendered framing of his presence in the office. So the idea of like when women got into very comfortable into the idea of like, I can talk to men however because men are powerful, right? And there is no recourse. That's not true. That's absurd. In the realm of mothering, it's very female normative. So if you showcase men as stupid Homer-like dads, that has greater impact. So like they've made that a thing you cannot do on TV and adverts anymore, is show stupid dads trying to put a nappy on. Because it became a trope. Right. And in that realm, it has a very specific thing. The same way we can't show women in the workplace or driving cars and crashing every time. It becomes a trope. And so I feel like women reject the idea of creating conditions where men are being respected because of who they are. And I get it, because how everyone's socialized. And I don't care if other men say that this is nonsense. The fact is, not every man has the capacity to withstand being told that they're bald and being dismissed as such and show up powerfully. And baldness is a much bigger deal in white European normative environments. In our community, Common was bald since he was 15.
And I think that's why it's harder for black women to see it, because I'm seeing it, and I understand maybe in the white space, because it's exactly that.
So it's like they are a lesser man if they're bald. It's like
in white spaces.
In white spaces, it comes down to trust. It comes down to your ability to do business and to network.
Like Samson
a lot of white men are getting hair transplants because it's a sign of virality. Loads of things. But for black women, it's beards. A beardless man is a man that's in question.
Excuse me, not I, sir. I find men with beards.
This tells me more about you.
What?
My cousin had a theory, right? And I haven't been able to debunk it, so I'm going to share it with you. Okay? Men who shave their beards date white women. Men who keep their beard and cultivate it prefer black women. Culturally, the black women respond to our beard like white women respond to white men's hair.
I don't believe that.
Okay, that's okay. But I would like to put that to the group.
I actually see this play out in action a lot.
Because I think my simple version is because black men can be bald, so it's like turning the head on upside down, so then there's something to dress the face. I don't mind a beard. That's as far as I'm comfortable with what you've got going on, maybe a bit more. I'm just not a fan of beard gang because I find it too much. And I also like a good clean, I like a face, so I like to see the face. So I feel like the beard hides it and I want to know what's going on. It's like,
but it's the man, it's led by the man. If he shaves his face, it's because he is adopted and subscribed
to the white
to white ideas. And by the way, this is not a bad thing. It just is, right?
Yeah.
Because in whiteness, shaving your beard is a cultural norm and a thing. In blackness, we manifest our beard.
I don't believe that's always been a thing.
It's such a big thing.
Show me a man that's beardless. Show me his last 5 girlfriends, and I'm pretty sure I'll see a pattern.
Okay, hold on. Who are the men in our lives that are beardless? When you say beard, do you mean absolutely clean?
Yes, they shave on a regular basis.
Like, remember
they do 5-day shaves, 4-day shaves, 3-day shaves.
Okay, like always on it.
If you've got like a goatee and a thing.
No, to me, that's still you got facial hair.
And you go to the barbers to get it done. But people who go into a mirror and wet shave.
Okay, I don't know then. I don't know.
That's a different cultural approach.
I actually think it is a thing. I'm thinking about it for all the people I know.
Do you know what? I'm going to be more importantly transparent. I think I got that from a Johnny Salmon. Okay, you know Johnny?
We know.
Good dude, right? Brother. So he said that to me, and I've not unseen it since.
I
haven't debunked it.
Stay in my head now when I'm meeting people.
It doesn't tell you nothing about me because it does. That's it. What does it
Your
tell
desires.
In
your whole energy is gearing towards getting you ready for a European man.
No.
This is gonna kill you.
No,
he's gonna kill you.
I wanted to do it though.
No, don't.
No, but you can't throw things.
No, but also, can we cut that out? Because viscerally makes me mad because I think that
I've been in 2 abusive relationships, and you raising your hand like that makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Sorry, I take it back. No, I don't like that.
No, I don't think that's the case. But my point is, right, is that there is a relationship in terms of how you groove and how you aesthetically show up and about who you're trying to attract.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
When you start decentering the opposite sex and you start operating on your own, if you have the language to support your choices, fine. But a lot of people do not, and they are attempting to connect to a particular audience through their grooming techniques.
I never thought about it. I never thought about it because I think, anyone I've dated has got something going on, but I just don't like beard gang. That's where I draw the line at beard gang. But then I'm not drawing the line because who am I? Because if you're handsome and you've got beard gang, it is what it is. But it's just like the thought of you like,
combing your beard.
and really being like, there's an over attentiveness that I maybe might find stressful.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
a
know.
different thing about male beauty standards and how you feel
how
comfortable
we're
about
conditioned
men
to-
grooming.
it's true.
I quite like the combing and all of that stuff anyway.
I think it depends. I think there's something about when it started to get really big, and I think it started to get ridiculous to me. I don't hate.
I hear what
Do you know
you're
what?
saying,
If you know
though.
how to speak into a man, he'll cut it off for you. If you can speak into him, you'll be telling him.
Take it off.
Yeah, you talk to him like that.
He'll take it off.
He'll buy scissors.
Take it off, baby. Okay.
I did not know this was a thing about bald.
I didn't know.
I'm gonna walk into that.
I just think men need to learn to
No,
be
but
powerfully
it's like-
bald. Too much centering of what women find attractive is going to turn men into useless human beings, right? A big part of like becoming a man is not being wavering every time a woman says
I always
feedback
thought
on who
that
you are.
was what men. I thought that was a male superpower. Honestly,
What's that?
Is that they set their aesthetic.
Yes.
And you do your
attract-
thing,
you
and we're
attract.
like,
But that's-
I find that attractive or not. But you're not looking to a woman to be like, oh, this is how I should.
No,
I thought that was what men did.
I'm hearing that more often, and I don't know when the shift came for me to understand that, but I am hearing it more in language that men are saying, no, we are adapting for you. I think we were again, it's that raising of like,
Yeah.
oh, men don't give a damn about what we just do what we want. But no, I'm hearing more and more that they're but it's more about in the gym. I didn't think about whether you had a skiffle, a high top fade, or twist or dreads or something like that. I felt like that was very owned by men and what they wanted to do. But definitely like body shape and possibly fashion.
I think a lot of men are still focusing on the female gaze in terms of how they show up.
I understand.
in
It
every
makes
single
sense
way.
because
They
we do the
haven't
same.
got to that radical point of decentering women yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong unless you're really conforming something to something that you don't want to be. But also, this is a white thing because baldness in white people is different from baldness in the black
Absolutely.
community.
We did a piece in Jeremy Vine about Wayne Bridge spending £7,000 on a hair transplant. I don't think it made any sense. Right?
Did it take?
No, it didn't look good.
But there are black men more and more going into getting their turkey dots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look, absolutely, and they're doing this black spray paint. There's all
Yeah.
these different things that are happening. There are men who are extending their legs to be taller.
Yeah.
When you're operating in the female gaze, your life will be hell.
On that note, quickly, speaking of hair, do black men still hate weaves?
Are black men in black spaces still being like, I hate her hair, you know?
I hate the weaves.
I hate those weaves. Is that happening?
Still.
You remember the Facebook days when there used to be
Yeah.
1,000 long threads on
Yeah.
hating weaves?
And as weaves are growing longer and longer and blonder
No, well,
and
now it's
blonder.
wigs and stuff.
Wigs and stuff.
Lace.
Do men...
That's my authentic view.
Yes, please.
Personally, it's an indicator of something that I would ask questions about
Okay.
and try to understand. It's a bit like soft life. I
Right.
don't mind women having a soft life, but you need to be able to explain to me what is the thinking behind your soft life desires for me to participate.
Okay.
Okay.
Because just because you desire it, it doesn't mean that it's my job to fulfill it, right?
I hear it.
Fair.
I want to hear because I've definitely historically dated a lot of women, but I think now I prefer not. Right? It talks about it's again like balding men. I stand in my things powerfully. I don't wish to go to Turkey and have my hair injected 1,000 times by needles to then go back and be like, yeah, I'm young or my hair didn't do this, right?
Yeah.
And I think I just want people to be standing powerful in their things. I think when I look at weave, I think the couple things that are difficult about it in terms of how you manage and maintain it, the access to the actual person and connect to the actual person under it is reduced. Right? Things like intimacy, showering, swimming, going certain places, weather, all impact how your hair shows up, right? Yes. And I think to myself, like, even a woman who requires 30 minutes minimum to go out the house,
Yeah.
it just doesn't work for me. My life is my life is busy.
Wait, hold on.
If you say to me you need
Makeup, sir.
let me finish.
Okay.
If you need an hour for every time you choose to leave your house, right? I
Yeah.
respect it because it's about presentation and care.
Yeah.
I'm saying it doesn't work though. So it's not my personal judgment. Does it work in action? The answer is no. Because some of my life is 10 minutes. And if you don't have a look or a version of yourself
Okay.
Oh, okay.
that can
Where
show
you
up,
could do a 10-minute. Okay.
then it doesn't work. If it's like, I'm going to go see my mum real quick, something's happened, and
And
you're
she's
like,
like, oh, no,
I need half an hour,
Okay.
Okay.
then
I
it
hear
doesn't
you.
work.
Please
right?
use your
makes
words.
sense, 'cause I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I get that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
That's fair.
feel there has to be a certain level of comfort in your wake up version of yourself, your 1 hour version, 15-minute version,
Yeah, yeah.
10-minute
Yes,
version,
absolutely.
where you can do something workable. I think
You can fling on a cap and you can leave.
Yes.
Or you
And
can
you're
put your hair in a
you're not-
ponytail and you can
And if
leave.
your makeup's not done, you're not screaming and feeling insecure and
Yeah.
crying. Like, oh my God, I
Yes.
can't go outside.
And I'm not
I
now
wouldn't- I don't wanna see
tempering
that.
your feelings about yourself for the
Yeah.
next 4 hours because of that result.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my personal preference
ya.
in workability.
I understand.
I
It's
hear
not
that, I hear
judgment.
that.
That's
No,
fair.
no, if
How
I
you
was a guy, I'd be similar. Like,
no,
you
I'm in the
can't be
same.
like, no, I can't go.
Yeah.
Let's
You need to go.
That's too far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
hear
think
that.
it's just very personal, right? When I listen to women who have weaves, wigs, lace fronts, most of the time it makes sense what they're trying to do. The look they're going for is
Yeah.
for themselves what they look for. I personally just don't find a depth of attraction to it. I can see.
You know what? I've heard that so many times. I can see.
How do I say this?
No, because you know what? To be fair, I'm the same as because I said it to a friend the other day. I was like, I didn't say I like what's going on, because it frustrates me when I can see because I have eyes.
So I think the thing about for example, right? Braids. Oh my god. Goddess braids lit. Faux locks lit. Right.
And
You don't see the beginning, the end, and the middle. We're in the world with you.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm not even going to disagree. As
So
much
you
as
feel like it's just a level of
deception that's not working.
A fantasy that they're creating that you're like, but I can see.
I can see it. It's not true.
Yes, and again, that applies to makeup. There's an enhancer and there's a transformation.
Yeah.
When we're in enhancement, absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to focus on your eyebrows. You want to show contours. Amazing. If there is an A and B,
Yeah.
I think we're departing from what its true purpose is.
I understand.
So that's what I would love. I would love it to be a place where, as close to who you are, and if you enhance, it's not a crutch.
So
It's the psychology of it, not the actual look
I
of it.
agree. I agree. I think, and that is my thing always. It's like I don't date women, but
Joking. All right, I'm joking.
He's literally
It's the third hour of the podcast. Things are happening.
You told me to date white men and women because I can't get a black
People
man.
are doing it.
That's what you said. You said because I can't get a black
People
man.
are doing it. I've supported a couple of people through those transformations
Listen, no,
on
thank
both
you.
fronts, and they're happy.
Thanks. Can you just help me get a black man, please?
There's only 7 of us. We're out. We're full. We're busy. We're at capacity.
There's 7 of you. There's 7 good black.
Can we have a like an asterisk where it says Marvin's being facetious in this particular segment?
Yeah, no, we're going to say he means every word. I agree. Anyway, I fully agree because I think if you're not attached to the things, I can understand and get with you more. When you're bound by it and can't, it's frustrating, even as a friend.
Yeah.
Even as friends, like I can't do this, I can't go out because they're gonna.
I've got to go and do my hair.
Yeah.
This weekend it's happening, so I'm not going anywhere. That is crazy.
I mean, that could be that because this takes forever.
Yeah.
But there's
No, it's usually like a process. There would still be something. Put on a scarf.
Yeah.
I feel like
that
when
part,
you
yeah.
will stop life because
Yes.
of your hair,
or your look.
Beauty standards.
Yeah.
it's like, come on now, let's
You're unhealed.
let's
Again,
not do that.
How women are socialized, how they feel they need to show up,
Yeah, I
to be
hear
worthy, to be seen as human beings,
Yeah.
to be desired,
I hear it.
is a part of it, right?
Yeah.
But again, if you date black women, you understand all the edges. And
Yeah.
you love anyway. If
Edges
you're not
being-
able to love fully in those environments, it won't make sense to you.
Yeah.
Okay, finally.
Okay, I hear you. What's the final one?
Why do black men hate dark-skinned women?
I'm not accepting that charge at all.
He's
You must be out. I'm going to swear. You must be out of your motherfucking mind. If you think for a second you can say that sentence peacefully, I'll tell you to leave your own podcast. Are you crazy?
The evidence is out there, bro.
No, there is an element of colorism and shadism that exists.
Yes.
There is a weak psychological mindset, which is proximity to whiteness.
Yeah.
I understand all of those things. But real G's, and 86% of all black men are married to black women.
Pause. Black women, what's the percentage that are married to dark-skinned women? And in all seriousness.
They haven't dug into the data, right? So there is a significant amount of love for black women as a whole.
Of course.
We cannot allow the 14% of black men who speak ill of black women and center the white gaze, the white European gaze for their beauty standards. They're none of our business. They're not in our community, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's incredibly important, and I'm really sorry that black women have felt that energy for an extended period of time to the point that they believe that it is the truth, full stop. That does not exist in my world, in my community. And personally, I believe that dark-skinned black women specifically are the oracle of existing in every way. I'm not saying they get honored for it, they get paid for it or respected for it, but they are the oracle, right? And so much of my beauty standard lens comes from dark-skinned black women. That is the standard.
Everything you're saying is wonderful.
It's my truth.
Everything you're saying is wonderful. I'm not disputing your truth, and I get that. The oracle, it comes to me, but then it's guys.
Let me be clear, because that's important.
I'm not disputing
let me
what
be
you're
clear,
saying.
because I need to be clear.
Okay.
I'm not dehumanizing black women, because I've met prickly, challenged, harmed black women.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying when you're the oracle is when you find a black woman in her truth and how she sees the world, all the information of how to exist is in that community. So if you have access and you are psychologically safe enough to that community to hear from them, you will find answers to all things in that community.
I wasn't disputing anything you said.
I just want to be clear for me.
Yeah. I wasn't even saying that, but I could receive that compliment from a bunch of guys who their skin tone stops there in every single woman they've dated, and maybe go on to date because they can't figure out with myself. For example, let me speak about my own journey. And then the guys around me like, yeah, we love dark skin, and there's only a few that are actually really with a dark skinned woman, and it's black women, sure. Even if it's not about the white women or whatever like that, and they date black women, then there's a tone where there's a line. I know it's not the be all and end all, but especially when you're in a Western society, and even when you look out into pop culture, you would think that, and unfortunately, yes, those are our signifiers, maybe not every day on the ground, but our signifiers that in pop culture and everything, that the minute you hit a certain tone, you're invisible.
So my invitation is, is you cannot center yourself in the stories that psychologically harmed black men have about themselves.
Right?
And I'm not saying that it doesn't come at a personal cost, that you're not being chosen by your own men. But as I said to you before, the type of black men have been sent into a world to navigate it, and many of them are under psychosis. We just do not assess and address it as such, because they might have some money, they might have a woman on their arm, and might have some kids, and we think that is them being fine and happy. I'm saying there is a psychosis of harm and pain in black men who cannot see love in themselves, let alone in their mothers. As a result, their choices are always going to be away from black women, because what that represents to them, what they have to face to love a black woman, is too painful. That is not the fault of black women, though, right? And I think sometimes framing it in the lens is that you're not being chosen because of what you look like is ignoring the many, many men who do choose over and over again to have relationships with dark-skinned black women. I
agree. I also feel like when you're in that bubble in space and the evidence is repeating itself, there's only so much. And that's, again, not to say don't do the work, and also being open and putting yourself in spaces. There's all the work that women can do. And I'm trying to remove it for myself, just in general, because even trying to raise a dark-skinned girl, let's put it on that. Me trying to raise a dark-skinned girl, I poured love into her, and I guess it's worked. So there is stuff in the family dynamic and all that stuff. But it is the things that she hears, the things that she sees, that it's like, well, it's not her, as you said, it's not her fault. And then, yes, we know that black men are under psychosis, under attack, but that's a lot of responsibility on a young black girl to just be like, it's okay, I'm gonna see myself through it and read.
This is the thing. When you're minoritizing a country, you don't have the social and constructive powers to impact how dark-skinned black women see themselves or girls see themselves.
Yeah.
The actual answer is to move into environments. You know, if both of you got off the plane in Ghana, you're not gonna have no problems. Right? You're not going to have no problem. You'll figure it out much quicker. So we cannot ignore the conditions that we're in that create the environment, right? And as a result, the answer is what? This is why I say, when I talk about anarchy, I'm not just talking about relationships. Your life, it has to be anarchy. We cannot exist in whiteness and be peaceful and loved and seen for who we are, right? And so for a man, it's easier or different because my job has been to create value from birth. The same way you were given a baby doll at 1 year old and said, look after it. I have been told that if I don't make money, if I don't become a physical specimen that can protect a group of people, I am nothing. So I have been designed to do that. So as a result, that may be attractive to the white female gaze, but when I want love that fills my soul, I need it from my community. I got off, and by the way, I got off the plane in South Africa, surrounded by a country that has majority black women in it, and I could not believe how much affirmation I was receiving. And again, this is not, oh, bad girls are onto me. I need you to hear me when I say I have never been affirmed by old, young, everybody. I'm in the mall and people are stopping and turning. I don't know that as a reality.
Yeah.
Right? And so I am a consequence of it too. If I can't love what my mum looks like, I am harmed too. Right?
Yeah.
And so as a result of being in a majority black country where my likeness, my being is adored, it transforms your idea of who you are as yourself. So I know what the harm is. I'm saying the answer, again, if we're moving into anarchy, is not to stand here and expect harmed men to see you for who you are. They can't meet you. So where do you need to be to meet people as to where you are? Because you have, in a global scale, a significant amount of privilege in blackness by being in Britain with a passport that says that you are a citizen.
Yeah.
So changing your worldview will change how you frame all of those things to be in an environment where you're in a loving relationship that you actually deserve with someone who sees you with the beauty that you genuinely have.
I hear it. And just to all the guys I've dated, not to dismiss, because you did date me and it was fine. Thank you.
Yeah, but you didn't do the right thing, so go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, there's also that.
And there's that.
You dropped the ball. But I've actually, to be very clear as well, I've actually been blessed to not feel, I've had the moments, but I actually have been blessed to not feel othered because of my darkness. I don't know my darkness. I don't know if ever I've been rejected. I've had one or two, like, oh, you're dark skinned, or you know that this person's never going to go for you, whatever. But generally, my existence as being dark skinned has not been a problem. In my,
I think,
do you know what I mean? Just to make that clear.
It's a thought though that a lot of dark skinned women have.
Yeah.
And you actually admit it. So it's a kind of, I'm not going to be chosen.
Yeah.
And I feel like being in that space, you will not be. Because it's just not attractive anyway. But people can sense all of that. And it is, I absolutely get it though, because you can get so much of that feedback. But I think there is also a whole load of men that kind of get overlooked or not even get a look in because it's like I'm not the person that they're going to select.
But the capacity of the women that they want are not what you would even want. You don't want those men.
But
right?
it's all that discernment that you've got to really have understanding of.
It's a very difficult to have. I'm talking with a lot of clarity from the outside, right?
Yeah.
This is not judgment. But again, listening to, there's that guy that always goes off and just talks facts to women as if he is the goddess of existing, right?
Oh,
there's many of them, but there's one with braids. I can't remember. I don't know what his name.
Oh, I thought it was Shaquille.
It might be him. I don't know.
Ain't got braids.
Okay, cool. So there's this guy and he goes around saying these things, and there's like Myron who goes around and puts women who do not have the capacity to match what he's saying.
Oh my God.
And tries to embarrass them, right?
Yeah.
These humiliation rituals that exist, right, are not in the real world.
Yeah.
And we make them real and we make them fact. I'm saying that a part of your work as being a black woman, unfortunately, is how do you maintain your energetic purity when you might have patriarchy and masculinity over here trying to tear down one door. You have whiteness tearing down another one, and the psychological and emotional safety may not be available to you. That's the description.
Yeah.
Right? But then as a result, black women have created a significant amount of community and safety in and amongst each other in a way black men don't have that.
Yeah.
White men definitively do not have that. Their white men are looking at dope black dads and being like, can I join? Because they don't have psychological safety amongst their friends. And so you have formed an answer, but what it doesn't do is create an answer to coupling at the scale that you deserve and would want.
Yeah.
So the answer has to be more radical. Right? And so often when I think we look at the problems in society, the first thing is to look at the people who are not showing up correctly and hit them with the, what are you doing? And we do it as blackness talking into whiteness and be like, to end racism, white people must end it.
Yeah.
Why am I doing it? I can do that conversation all day and be factually correct, but my life won't change.
Yeah.
So what the responsibility is,
Yeah.
what do I do to create the conditions for me to be in whiteness and find a form of sanity and normality where I can feel loved and be seen? That might mean that I had to go South Africa 5 times a year to really understand what loving in blackness truly looks like and apply those tools and that way of existing and surround myself with those people in this current condition, but also not be afraid to leave.
Yeah.
I wish you happiness. I really do. I think there's been enough harm as a result of the language that's been created through the internet explosion. We're now at a point where it's like, now what? Because I have to move away from the idea that everything that's said on a podcast is something that I have to account for. My circle, my world, my community, my family run right with values and ethics. We're not here to play. And that's the most that I can do. I make sure on every platform that I sit on, I speak with love. I don't speak with harm and the desire to make anybody small. In fact, I want to liberate you from the heaviness that you feel to show you that there is a way. And I am your brother. I will always tell you factually what I'm observing and how I'm seeing you. I won't even tell you that you're amazing if you're not amazing. I won't come and I'll be silent. So there's a massive difference when you have an ally and there's someone that you can connect with. Use those people for clarity and then act powerfully as a result. There is nothing coming to save any of us based on any of the experiences that we're facing currently in this island.
That is true.
Island.
Nothing is coming to save us, for real.
And on that note, first of all, can you just give a list of what you're up to?
Oh,
Everything.
Yeah, quickly, so that people know.
Dope Black Dads is still the home base. I'm on TikTok every day sharing ideas, mainly focusing on the over 30s about how to exist in blackness, masculinity, family, children, whatever. Beloved as an agency still continues to do our work with lots of company. We do lots of work internally. We also do campaigns. We do AI, making it ethical. You'll find me on Jeremy Vine most weeks in the morning. So watch on Channel 5. Please call in as well. We don't have enough callers under 50.
I didn't even know they still did the call in.
Yeah, please do. Please call in. Sometimes on Good Morning Britain, sometimes on Radio 5 Live. My main goal is wherever I can find an audience to share ideas, I'm there. And the goal is to do it with love, to be authentic as humanly possible, to also be fallible. And if I offend, I want to apologize. I'm not here for that, and genuinely mean it and move quick.
You shared something. I had the wonderful experience of being beloved recently. And that was so helpful in just in those hours that we spent with you. And you said something that your self-care regime. Could you just say just in that, what do you do to self-care?
Yeah. So I have a list of 27 things, and it's because I sat with myself and journaled on what genuinely brings me joy, pleasure, and recharge, right? As I said, when I was starting in my relationship and becoming a dad, I was working, being a dad, being a husband with full bluster, but there wasn't any sophistication. So I wasn't doing the other thing really well. And at the point of being depleted, I burnt out every year, 5 years in a row. It made me sick. And I had to genuinely transform my life to do it. Part of that was I had to set fire to some things, but I had to put some real boundaries in place, and I had to actually create some systems. My actual self-care of facials, manicures, pedicures, massages, sleeping in the day, napping if I need to, saying no is a form of self-care, like eating better, working out and finding kettlebells has been the biggest transformation. I did fasting. I intermittent fast still to this day. I have great friendships, and my friendships, I speak life into them regularly. I communicate regularly, and I love on them. Like, I pour into my friends like they are my romantic partners. That's a really important foundation of mine. And I give fearlessly, and I love fearlessly. I don't sit there and feel like I'm trying to protect myself and I don't want to be hurt. I am open to being hurt, and I know I'm going to be okay because I've been okay. Right?
Yeah.
There are certain things that reprogram the mind that you can do that is more powerful than just doing nice things. Okay? Soft life is an indicator of something that you can create for yourself, but you have to sustain it through your genuine way of being, not just performing tasks of nice things. And so I've learned to show up in a way that is authentic, but centered on, I love myself enough to survive.
Guys.
That's important.
Yeah. Do you have
This is why we love you.
We do.
Oh, no, I love you guys.
I've known Marvyn for such a long time.
And it's going to continue. Again, this is what I'm saying. This is 20 years or 25 years.
Yeah. It's going on ages.
We're
It's
gonna
about 25
We're going to be
years.
60
Is
on a
it?
coach bus.
Yeah.
Coach bus going to Margate together, laughing
He
about
was a
days.
teen.
Yeah,
I
you
was
said that was-
19.
yeah,
at the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So it's 20, 22, 3 years.
And I only
Yeah.
met you not long ago, but
But I felt like this is the thing, and Lorraine Russell has this thing for me also. I don't know if you know Lorraine Russell.
Yeah.
So I felt like she was my family before I knew her. So she
Okay.
called me about something. I just said yes, and I turned up. And I realized I didn't know her very well, but I did, right? And I have that thing with you. I just felt like I know you. And as a result, it allows me to be relaxed. I don't have to do certain things to create a safe space between us. It just is.
yeah.
And I will always show it for you forever. So I
Bless
appreciate
you.
you both. Thank you.
Appreciate you so much.
So much. This is one of my favourite episodes
Oh,
ever.
I love that. I love that.
Guys, we brought a guy. We had the conversation.
Can I be a man for a bit, though? please?
Okay, man. Go on then. Go on, just say something. So
No, I
women
can't
get in the
handle it
kitchen.
still. No, I can cook better than most of y'all, so let's
There
go,
you go.
man.
There we go.
Master chef.
Thank you, Marvyn. It was important, and we do want more men conversations because that's my passion for black men and black women to really understand each other and build the force that we are.
Yeah,
build on that.
because
force
we need
that
each other.
We do.
No,
we
we
absolutely do. I'm not interested in all men are shit. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And all women aren't shit either.
Yes.
The podcast and we need each other. That's a nice opening, and constantly reciting it like
Yeah.
a chorus in a song.
Yeah.
We need each other.
We do.
We need each
Stop
other.
the binary elements that are current.
Yeah, we need each other. I 100% believe that. We are continuously joined by the Queen Podder herself, Ms. Audrey!
Thanks, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for being back in our orbit, girl. We love
Always.
you. So we've done the main show. Now we're here to talk extra stuff. I'm just going to go through some scenarios, guys.
Yeah.
So first of all, have you seen the girl on Insta who shared a redunculous picture of her and apparently her man, or is it her man? She'd airbrushed off the face. The whole head is gone. A headless, and it's not one pic.
No,
it's
it's
more than
loads.
one.
Carousel.
She has to be
Like
trolling.
bear.
She must
You think
be
she's
in
trolling,
it.
I
innit?
think she
Cause
has to
attention,
be
innit?
because I listen. I get the whole sentiment.
Yeah.
Because it feels like the pipeline of posting your man to some shit. It's very close.
Okay.
So basically, they say like once you post your man, then some shit is about to hit the fan. Quite literally. So I understand the sentiment of wanting to, some people, but there's ways. This is just very ghetto. Like
It's
I'm like, what are you
crazy.
doing? Like I get like maybe doing the side profile or just doing the back of the head, or there's ways in which you can make it artistic and make it cool
But
and
why
hide him.
post that all?
But to cut his head off, to completely like delete his head, is insane. And it's so funny because when you sent me the show notes for today, I was like, oh my god, like this is not like AK. She didn't put a trigger warning. What do you mean the woman has a picture with a headless man? Like I was like, oh my god, like there's no trigger warning because I felt like you would have put trigger warnings. I thought it was going to be something graphic. So I still clicked on the links. I was like, I want to see it, and then I saw that and I was like, oh.
That's so funny.
The girl's crazy.
Right? Because I already had a conversation, and I think I even referenced because I think I always talk about. I also kind of figure out when people share their kids and they just do their heart. And I think you shared your daughter, but you always share from behind.
Yeah.
And things.
I started showing their face now.
I just seen.
But it's like catch her if you can. I usually just do it on stories.
Yeah.
But I always used to take pictures of her from the back or the side or whatever.
Yeah.
And not
I think there is an artistic way.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can do it. But that is crass. And it's unnecessary. Don't
Yeah, it's
post
too
him.
much.
Because if I know him, I know his body, innit?
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm gonna be like, well, that's Bola, that's my man.
And
like,
also, don't you think it actually just causes more interest
I would think so.
by doing that? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, because I assume that the fear is that someone's going to come to you with some shit and you don't want to hear it.
That?
But like, surely, A, would you not want that? But B, it's like, it's going to happen regardless.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I get the self-preservation of it all. But I just think it's team too much doing all of that.
I don't get the self-preservation because that means you're not confident in your relationship.
Yeah, you're not.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is it. I know I've not posted guys that I've been with because they haven't made me feel secure in the relationship. So I feel like I can't brag. Not about being a side chick, because I am absolutely, every man knows I'm not a side chick for anybody. But when the relationship's not completely 100%, you don't post them because I know I'm not secure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to post a shoulder or an elbow to prove that at
Yeah.
least someone kind of likes
Yeah.
me. Because I think I'll even
Yeah.
feel ashamed of, I know the truth. Sorry, I know the truth.
Unless he says, don't post my face.
Well, that's the thing.
And when he's saying don't post my face, that's a whole big red flag.
That's exactly what I was going to say, you know.
Unless he's a spy.
Because I feel like if you're not posting him, I think the likelihood is that he said, don't post me.
Yeah.
Because I think even though that thing does kick in of like, oh my God, I don't want anyone to bring me nothing. I just want to enjoy my man in peace, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that the wanting to post them, that whole thing, because you're proud of your relationship, I think that overrides that feeling.
Yeah.
So I think that if a woman can't post her man's face, it's usually because he doesn't want to be posted.
Yeah.
But again, what sort of validation do you crave so badly that you need everyone to know that you're in some sort of relationship, you've got a man, whatever, that you'll post some version of him or some doctored picture? I don't know, it's weird.
Where
Headless.
are we now when it comes to women and partnerships? Because are we, I mean, I suppose because I'm the single one, but at the same time, but where are we in, where are we in women having to have a man? Because I think I hear a lot of, do I hear a lot, it's my bubble, of, you know what, it's fuck it, I'm just going to be single.
If people are...
Like, is society still saying women, you're not valid unless you got a man?
I think it's still. I think we're doing a lot of work to move on from that message, but I still think it's an underlying thing that's still there. And I think that, like, you know, they say as long as it takes to learn something, it takes the same amount of years to unlearn it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that the unconditioning of everything that we've had rammed into our brains since the day we came out of the fucking vagina is going to just leave. It's not just going to leave us no matter how much. And I think that women are genuinely doing the work. So I've got plenty of friends that are putting so much more energy into other things, and if a relationship comes off the back of it, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, one of my friends, like, I've got the utmost respect for her because it hasn't happened for her yet. She does want it because she wants to settle down and have kids and stuff like that. Same age as me, we're 39, but she's just thrown her life into fitness, and and off the back of fitness, and I feel like she's going to meet someone because she's thrown herself into fitness, she goes to all these Hydrox competitions, and she's always like, she does all these like wellness retreats and all these like fitness travel things and things that I'm not privy to because that's not my world at all. But I feel like she's always busy. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that, like, she's just thriving, and she's not sitting around waiting to meet someone. If it happens, it happens. But she's occupied, and I love that for her. So I think that women are genuine about, like, do you know what? I'd rather have no relationship than a shit one.
Yeah.
I think there's that. I think we're waking up to, okay, as lonely or painful as it might be, I'm not going to sit for bullshit.
Yeah.
There's definitely that.
And it's kind of normal. I know so many single women.
Same.
And I think about, like, even my sister, she's 11 years older, her generation, lots of them were in couples. Couples in my world are the minority compared to the single people. And then even thinking of my mum's generation, that's standard. Everybody was in a couple. So I think we're, you know, I don't know what the men are doing there. I always wonder because I don't know any single guys. Like, are there a whole load of men that are also in the same place and they're not with
There's more
with
women
a woman?
That's why as well. There's more.
Ain't it like just like 2%?
I don't know. I
swear it's not crazy. I do wonder, like, are men sitting around with their boys being like, yeah, we just can't find a woman, you know?
But I definitely, there's some of that.
Yeah.
But
are they just not the guys that women want?
I don't know.
I always wonder, like, what?
I feel like men have so many options.
So
Men have
many.
more
They
options,
have
but
so
it's
many.
Good women,
Like,
like
good women,
beautiful
yeah.
No,
women.
but then it's like, oh, I can't even speak. Let me not speak for man. We'll have Marvin next week. He can talk. He's going to get all the man questions next week.
I need to hear from a man to be like, are there a whole load of single men in their 30s and 40s being like, I want to settle down. I want to find a woman.
No, I think there is that conversation that's happening, because also there's that whole women aren't women anymore, they're too busy outside being baddies, or they're not cooking. So some of the ingrained traditional stereotypes of what it means to be a woman in a relationship and in service to their man, because men are fighting through the new rules of masculinity.
Okay, yeah.
So I think there's a lot of, I don't know where my position is, I don't know what to do. There's insecurities, and now that the world is saying it's okay to be insecure and talk about your vulnerabilities, I think there's a lot of figuring out how to navigate that. I think even on our post the other day that we posted about, when I asked, like, can men talk about what it is when they have a child with a woman that they can't stand? And a couple of comments, a couple of men were like, instead of answering it, they're like, well, I don't like accountability, and da-da-da-da. And women, but you didn't give the answer. I asked the question, but then I got it thrown back. I got it thrown back, and well, this is the thing. And then one of them was like, you modern women. I'm like, no, I asked the question because I genuinely have never had a man tell me with his mouth what it feels like to have a child with someone that you hate or you don't like, or that you didn't want to have a child with. What does that feel like, and what has that done to you? Because I've seen your behaviour.
Yeah.
I've seen how you talk shit about them. But actually, what is that pain? What is it? That's what I've not had that kind of conversation.
Yeah, and it's always the ones that don't have the language, or they can't even... They can't even string the sentence together to even answer the question, that they just get defensive. They just see that, and their first thing is just to be defensive, instead of like breaking it down and being like, actually, there's nothing to be offended by here. It's literally a question. But they just get very triggered, and I feel like they just act emotionally in the comments, because that is an absolute valid question. Like, it's us, like, again, it's women doing the work of like, let's get to the root of this. These are questions they should really be asking themselves.
Well, this is the
but
thing.
Here you are, a woman asking that question.
And I'm getting told I'm a modern
exactly. And then they'll be like, oh, no one wants to hear our stories, no one wants to hear our plight. But when you try to have these conversations, they shut it down and they get defensive.
That's another part of it. I said that, you guys, because they always talk about the response, you're not going to hear it. That whole thing, like, when we talk, you lot don't listen. And I had to say, that's the other guy that responded to it. He wasn't being rude, but he was like, yeah, when we talk, we get cussed, or people don't want to hear it. I'm like, do you know how when women talk, we get ridiculed and dissed by men all the time? Our emotions are dismissed and fobbed off as, oh, you're just being a woman. The difference is that we are conditioned to be allowed to be vulnerable. We're conditioned to allow to talk to our girls about something. We're conditioned to even speak up when we're not being oppressed. We're allowed to talk about our feelings, but that's being a woman. Guys, you need to talk about why you lot are oppressed, and
exactly.
if you're less of a man if you don't speak up. So it's less stop focusing on the response, because we might cuss you. We might. Like, shut the fuck up. But also, let's move through it.
Yeah.
Get
over it.
And not every woman's going to do that. There are lots of women are going to be like, yes, my love, and put your head on their breast.
Quite
and
literally.
you,
yeah.
And then give you the best head after to make you feel better.
No, literally. And they but they don't hang around long. They don't do the work to get to the end result.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just I don't know what they're gonna do.
I think I'm gonna have to go on.
Whenever we ask questions of men, though, there's always the none of you want to hear.
Yeah.
Although we've asked a question, we asked about colorism. Tell us your experiences.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
It's like when you ask directly, no, we actually just want to hear you sound off.
Yeah.
Go off. Nah.
Because that response of like, oh, you don't, it's autopilot. It's not real. Do you know what I mean? It's just an automatic response, because actually when you are faced with the question, you don't have shit to say.
Yeah. No, you don't want to.
They were gonna
or you don't want to be vulnerable. It's
you don't want to be vulnerable because it's like, because you're not going to... No, because one thing women love is a traumatized man.
Yeah.
We empathise and
we like
love
vulnerability.
trying to nurture them.
Especially when they give it to us, because we feel special.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're like, oh,
that's a tool, guys.
You know, he's opening up to us, blah, blah, blah.
But also, yes, there's going to be backlash. Yes, we cuss you lot all the time when you say shit, but it's not in the way that... You have to think about, what do you do to us?
Yeah.
We're humans. Humans are empathetic and not.
It's always tit for tat as well. I feel like men have this issue with addressing their issues without bringing women into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like, why do you always have to deviate into, but a woman this, women... No, we're asking you to address your very specific issues. Like,
Just talk amongst yourself, innit? So we can just eavesdrop and be like, oh my God, that was an interesting convo. No women focus.
Oh my God.
Brother to brother, this is how I felt when she told me she was pregnant. That's all I wanted, stories.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Why did you decide? Why did it take you 5 years to really spend any time with that child? Like, honestly, why? Like, give us reasons.
I think I've had one guy break it down for me. I tell a lie. Someone was so frustrated, but then with the situation that he got himself into, but he got himself into it. You got yourself into it. And the woman was like, absolutely not, because when he got himself into it, he was diabolically awful to her in, I don't want this. So she was like, is it? So she's given him the biggest fuck you, which even I was like, okay, think about the child.
So after she's had the kid, is like, well, you didn't want the child, so you will
made
not
it
be a...
hella difficult. And he has tried and he's given up now for the moment. You know who I'm talking about.
See, those types of things I feel is slightly...
But the pain
different.
and the hurt that he spoke about,
Yeah.
it's wrapped up in a little bit of, well, you weren't nice to her. And I think it's like, it's that thing of, I was just angry at the time. You've got to get over it because now I want to be, and that's the part that he can't reconcile with, because like, you have to understand that what you did hurt that woman. And whether she's taking it far or not, you hurt her in that moment. So there's a little bit of kind of, what perspective do you want to take on that?
It is an interesting one.
It's an interesting one. Sorry, I did cut you, but I just wanted to say that. No, you were
I
going to
can't
say
remember.
something. Sorry. All right, this is more relationships.
Go on.
Did you watch the clip?
Oh my God, I saw that in real time when it was...
I watched
Can
the
you
pod.
summarise what it was? Because I can't remember the whole story.
Okay, so...
Shall I play it?
It's okay, because I'll throw in the clip anyway.
Okay.
But So
It's
the
called
pastor
Dear
and
Future
his
Wife pod. Yeah.
pastor and his wife. The pastor was an absolute rogue, a terror,
Yes.
a gallus,
Yes.
a slut.
Yes.
And he was out here with loads of women. He gets with her, and he tells her, "I have a roster, but you're my number one." Somehow she thinks I've bagged a baddie, and she marries him. And for 5 years, he is still a terror, to the point where she's now praying to God. And somehow God, whoever she was praying to, said, he will come through, stick in there. Where she was ironing his shirts and getting him ready for him to go and cheat on her on the weekends. And then all the while, he's saying to her, you know, I kind of liked her, but she wasn't really my type. I like small, light-skinned women, and you know, she's never missed a meal in a
She's even light-skinned.
in her life. She's light, but she's a bit big. But God told him he's found a good one. So eventually, after years, he comes round, and now she is his right hand.
AKA when he's got it out of his system and he doesn't have
Banged
the
everyone.
source and the swag to get all of the women, and now he wants to settle down and he's doing it through the guise of like, oh, God told me to stop.
Yeah.
No, you stopped because you probably have less options and less access and all of those things. Listen, I need Christian women to stand up.
Please.
Like all the way up, because I don't know what this is like a humiliation kink or something.
It has to be.
And it's really, really bad. And again, it's like this whole thing of wanting a cookie, but who do you want the cookie from? Because no woman is going to give you no cookie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to give you a cookie for that. So maybe you want cookies from other men that will look on your relationship and be like, and I think that this is like a black thing as well, though. Like, sometimes we think that like in order to get like the most out of a relationship, you have to have struggled so much, and you have to have gone through all these trials and tribulations to get your ROI at the end. And I just don't think that white relationships function like that. Like, I don't believe that, like, for the most part, white women are like, oh, well, you know, I have to do this and I have to do that to get they just move on.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't.
I feel like this is a black thing.
What? Sorry.
Like the struggle love.
Okay. Struggle love. Let me shut up. I think white women, they just don't call it struggle love, because I think white women do
have their
put up with
version of
bullshit,
it.
like, because just for the sake of the man. Because let's not remove the fact that a husband is important in every culture.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I mean, unless you're living in Amazon with the Wonder Women people, like
but I just feel like they don't have this thing of like,
I'm not different.
I'm not saying that they don't go through things, because I think that no one can escape like things like that. I think that's universal. But I think that this notion of like,
you got
we have to, like, in order for us to be able to sit down and talk to other people about our experiences and be these like figureheads, we have to have gone through all of this. Whereas like, I don't think that white people have that. I feel like because they're like not operating from a place of scarcity as well. I feel like in our black relationships, we are, because there aren't as many eligible bachelors. Do you know what I mean? Whereas white people can go everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So you can break up with someone, next week you go to a bar, and you're going to meet someone else. Whereas we don't necessarily have that option. You can't just really go to a bar and meet someone. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to see your people. You have to wait for a specific event. That's probably at the end of the month. Do you know what I mean? And then you go there and everyone's going with the same agenda. Do you know what I mean? Whereas they can literally go to the pub and meet someone. So it's like this whole thing of like, we just move on, which is why I feel like their relationships are on times too. Again, it's very, very like general, but that struggle love thing is insane. Yeah. That level of struggle is crazy.
That people will come with, especially if it's like, I think they were almost 40 years together.
Jesus.
And the fact that still he hasn't remixed it, and he's and dear future wifey, there's a lot of them that have the same thing of she wasn't even my type. It's like a standard thing that they do. She wasn't even my type. I had to play away, and the woman is there like I just prayed to God. I just prayed, and then he came round. It's like, no,
that's not what God did.
No. That's like, God had no parts in that.
You were listening to God for real. He would have said, women, love yourself and get yourself out of this. And men have to, and I think that's the part, being a single woman, that's like navigated insecurities in relationships and have accepted less for the sake of having some sort of fake, pretend, romanticized version of what I think is relationship. I've been there in that, but I don't, I've deluded myself to myself, but to the world, I'm not posting a fake picture. I'm not owning up. It's my personal shame, I guess.
Yeah.
But not to convince myself that this is something I need to stick around for. Because I always say, like I said, I will never be a side chick. That's been something ingrained in me from young. I'm not being anyone's side chick. Might take your bullshit, but I'm not going to be a side chick.
But that's what they go for.
That is the main. That sits there.
Because they know what they're doing. He was like, you're my star.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just need sides.
You know what? That's very much like, because pimp culture is so huge, and guys, correct me, in Black American culture, the pimp is a thing. There's a culture of pimp.
It feels like it.
So that and it shouldn't. If you're a pastor, you shouldn't be referencing any pimp behaviour.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And you, as the pastor's wife, first lady, should not be perpetuating bottom down bitch holding down all the others.
But I feel like men, they're smart though, because they know and they prey on our desperation. Because they know that no matter what, which is why, like, you know, you can be going back and forth with a guy and they will always think that they've got their trump card by being like, well, you're going to end up single with cats. They always think that's their trump card, because ultimately they believe that no matter what women do, no matter how many things we achieve, you know, secretly, they truly believe that secretly we all just want a man, which is why the incels and stuff get so mad, because if they believe that like inherently this is what we want, how comes I can't get a woman because women inherently want these things? Do you know what I mean? And I think that all of that language is very dangerous. This whole thing of like being the main, because this woman was playing into that, because it felt like it didn't matter what happened, I'm the main. Do you know what I mean? So there can be a literal chaos and destruction around her, but I'm the main, and she's hanging on to these crumbs, and like he's playing into it, probably feeding into that, being like, oh, but you're the main. He was coming home eventually to her. Yeah, exactly.
So even if he's out for a night, he will still come back to her house.
And she's allowing
and that's what she was
ironed his shirts for him to go and cheat.
Yeah, and she would know he's going to be with this woman for the night, but he will come back home to me.
Did she speak about how she felt?
A bit, yeah. She felt like shit, but she prayed. And God told her she stayed.
No, God didn't.
Like he is an anointed man. If she stayed, she was going to get her blessing.
That wasn't God.
Now he ain't fixed up.
Oh, I do not. He is still.
Yeah, he's still in the streets.
You know he is.
False prophet. What was I going to say? This thing when men were like, we tell women all the time, and you don't think we're going to change, but this is why this happens, because women have got evidence. If I just hang on in there, eventually, when he's either decrepit,
middle-aged,
or he's just like, all right, cool, you've been there long enough, I'm going to choose you. We've got too much versions of that. Men lie too much and say that we're not going to change. And I told her I'm not going to be with her. There are women that are just like, if I just keep making myself available, one day he's going to be like, all right, fuck it. We've got too many examples of that.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, and people mix it up, because this woman was ironing his shit and cooking for him and not saying pim.
Yeah, he basically,
and he actually
she wore him down, I guess, because she didn't go anywhere.
Did she really believe she won?
He married her, so where's she going?
He married her and then cheated double fold in the marriage. Like,
just
you know,
all a
he's just like,
disaster.
this is just exactly like he was a player from beginning.
So was he still doing church?
Yeah, he's got a big congregation.
And his congregation, and that's another congregation. You lot need to be held accountable.
Oh, and he was saying women still try it on me now, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm saved. And I'm like, you're looking
not
at
saved.
someone and you're like,
this is
you're
crazy.
lying.
You preach with your Williams and another
But
woman.
also, this whole thing about like this humiliation ritual that guys do, that they're going on podcasts saying that their wife wasn't their type and stuff like that.
Horrid.
No guy that loves you will do that. And like, no guy that loves, like
you.
that man, that pastor, he has not changed.
No,
Because
he
if he had
hasn't.
truly changed and he'd realised, like, let's just say, obviously it's ridiculous, but let's just say there's some truth to he's a changed man, whatever, he's realised what he's got, blah, blah, blah. In truly like growing and learning from that situation, you would know that you've embarrassed your wife enough.
Yeah.
So why are you now coming on a podcast to even talk about the fact that she wasn't your type? That is irrelevant to anything.
exactly.
They're weaving it into sermon and preaching, because that's what they do. Like the Derek Jacksons of the world, like I did this and then this, and that.
Or like,
yeah,
the woman that looks good may not be good for you.
yeah. So get the homely woman that's going to iron your shirt.
Yeah.
All of that. It's all a brainwash. First ladies, you don't have to put up with this stuff. That nasty, and the pastor, congregation also need to really leave the congregation. You cannot accept and know that your pastor was a because this is why Christianity is, anyway, let me not get struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's all people, again, people taking advantage of their positions of power.
Yeah.
And like, you know, taking advantage of people that look up to them. Mm-hmm. And again, it's the same theme as what we were talking about on the other episode. It's like, these people know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Flirting with the pastor because what?
That is insane. Because it's insane.
I know, no, but the women that are
Yeah.
like throwing their vagina at a pastor,
Yeah.
That's insane.
You need to be bun.
it's actually disgusting.
Yeah.
That is
like
so
come and pray on me, like
counterintuitive.
you know,
I'm so
when it's just like,
confused.
ugh.
Are you okay? Are you
Yeah,
that desperate
that's actually
for
quite low.
It's
No.
very
Yeah,
low.
that's
Religious
like
leader.
that is down and dirty. I can't
It's
lie.
awful.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see like the first lady like walks past and you're kind of like, well, you come to my house, that is really,
Yeah.
I'm low.
And yeah.
And then you're feeding into this man's like delusions of grandeur as well,
Yeah.
because it's just like
You're awful.
they can't resist me. Blah blah. It's just
then-
a big cesspit of.
And then you
mess.
justify it in your prayers
Exactly.
Oh,
and say,
Like,
God forgive
no,
me.
take
I
God
feel
out of the
like
group
they are
chat.
the worst.
They are the
actually,
worst.
like, in
They
the
are the
pecking
worst.
order of
Yeah.
womanhood.
Despicable.
That type of shit is
Yeah,
really,
it's
Yeah.
really
it's
bad.
really
It's
gross.
sad, man.
Because you're tying it into a belief system, you're tying it into and then you're going to go and judge someone, because Christians are judgy as hell. On that note, for our last one, can you stay friends with someone who's proud to be a side chick? A recent
Proud.
debate online
Proud.
asked, it wasn't recent because it was a while ago, there was a debate online that said whether or not you'd keep a friend who openly chooses to be a side chick. Is it judgmental to walk away or fair to question someone's choices when they go against your own principles? Would you stick around or step back? From a friend who agrees, I'm a side chick, deal with it. And you
I
guys
don't
are
know.
married.
That's a tricky one because, okay, so I'm married, but I'm not someone that gets like triggered by married stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not one of these. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that's like, oh my God, that's so offensive. I'm married.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I don't really give a shit. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm a woman that happens to be married. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really lean into all of that stuff. But for me, I don't think it would be because I'm judging. It would be more because like, you don't respect things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not even necessarily loyalty to the people. It's not necessarily loyalty to my married community. Do you know what I mean? It's just more you as an individual. I'm questioning you because I'd like to think that everyone that I'm friends with, we kind of share sort of similar morals.
Would you
And the
cut
thing
them
is,
off?
I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't cut a friend off because she was a side chick, but the perpetual side chick,
Okay, then that's what they go for.
then that's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
And that tells me something about your character that probably wouldn't align with my character.
Okay.
But more so because you're making a consistent choice. Anyone can make a mistake. I've been a side chick before. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I have. Like, but one time knowingly and one time unknowingly. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So I don't judge things like that because, you know, I'm not necessarily in a position to. But the perpetual thing, like I said, anybody can make a mistake, but to constantly say that you're going to like continue to do it,
That's your job.
I don't know about
That as a role, that is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
To assign yourself.
And pride.
Like, I like being the side chick. I've said it on here. Like, I do have a friend currently who is a side chick. And my confliction was because it was a black couple and she's white. That was literally the only thing.
I can see why that would be a thing. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. But we still talk almost every day. She's still my brethren.
Yeah.
Now, if after this thing, there's another guy, then I would be like, come on now. Like, you're better than this. Like, but I would have the convo. I've had the convo. Like, you are better than this. But if she did it again, it'd be like, come on.
I'd want to get to the bottom of it. 'Cause I always think there's a deep-rooted issue surrounding any decision that people make, especially when they make up like fucked up decisions.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would really want to know, and I feel like as a friend, I have a duty of care to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's only so much you can do. I'm not going to spend my life trying to convince you, but I want to know why. I will give you my 2 pence on the situation, and then you're an adult. But also, I won't be that person you can come to. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that you will
We're not
lose.
going to have stories.
Exactly. We're not going to be doing story time, and I don't want to know about the gifts he bought you on the holiday. I don't want to know, because that is something that because I can't condone it. So like, I wouldn't drop you out, but I'm not going to condone it by engaging in conversation with you about it.
Me and a friend of mine had a falling out, a disagreement, and it kind of seeped into our relationship, but not too much. She saw a married guy, and I remember. It was quick, and it was just like, oh, okay, there's an attraction, let's do something. I don't know what they did, but there was an attraction, and it went further than it should. He was married, she was not. And I said, well, this is out of order to the situation and to the wife. She goes, well, I don't know the wife. And I was like, but you know he's married. I don't owe the wife anything. And I was like, I was like, but you know he's married. I don't know the wife. And we kept going back and forth, but you know he's married. So if it all came to a head, she goes, I'm not angry it's not about, it's his fault. He needs to take responsibility. He's doing the cheating. It's about him. It's not about the wife. I was like, I can't get the logic, because you know he's married.
That's a reach.
You don't have to know the wife that you're taking the piss. Because no, it's not out of order. She said, I'm the innocent party.
That's a stretch. I don't know about like innocent now, honey.
She was like, and I was like, and we went back and forth, and I think for as long as that was a thing, it became a thing between us. And even she was like, yeah, well, you're just judging. It was a thing. It's very, 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 this was in our 20s, so it was a long time ago.
It's a weird thing to be like, I'm innocent with knowledge, though.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Because you're not. You know what you're doing. And you know, obviously, he's either going to leave his wife and be with you, or you will always be the side chick. Like, so either way, if you don't want to be there as a side chick, have some self-respect and remove yourself.
Yeah, that kind of like delusion to convince yourself that like not only am I not in the wrong, I'm actually innocent.
Yeah, she's not the bad guy.
Yeah, that's a defense mechanism. Yeah. That's just something that she's saying a coping mechanism even.
Yeah.
That's just something that she's saying to make herself feel better. She's deep down, if she really thinks about it, she knows damn well she's wrong. Yeah. Because she's going to have to keep that same energy if it happens to her. And a lot of the times people won't.
Yeah, then it's still I'm the victim in this. Yeah. But also, I just think it's dangerous. Like, I would think that the woman, she could be psycho, and then I'm the one that's going to be disfigured or something. Like, I just think, why would you put yourself in that situation?
Some people don't play about their men and their husbands. Like, it's just. I just think it's just not worth it. There's
nobody's penis that good. It's never worth it. Like, honestly,
some people beg to differ, but on a friendship tip, I don't know if I could cut someone off, but again, it's about if you're intentional, because I do think it's a violation. I'm so against it that I think it's a violation. And when someone has moved to me and I know they've got a partner, I'm like, you're
taking the piss.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like why do you think I would be like game?
Like, why do you think that that's what? And you're not going to give me first wife choice. You're going to tell me I'm the side chick. Are you okay? I find
they're taking the piss.
Yeah, it's an insult.
And if a friend was like, it's what it is. I think there's someone I think I've had that conversation with someone in the like, like, yeah, I'm just be the side. I'll just be, because she's like, it is what it is. You know, they're going to cheat anyway, and I'm all right because I get my bits and I can go about my business. I don't like that.
I'm not convinced by that.
No, I feel like that's just really, really low self-esteem.
Yeah, exactly.
Show me a woman that really cares. No. Unless you're into polygamy, and also it's not real. Everybody needs to be aware.
Exactly, it's not even. Exactly.
Yeah, some type of deception going on, and if you're okay with deceiving somebody else, I feel like your self-esteem is in the bin.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you do hate yourself.
Exactly, because you're settling for crumbs, settling for crumbs.
Yes,
and if you're okay with that, then it's a deep-rooted issue.
So guys, I hope you've learned a lot today. Don't behead your man in the pictures.
Please don't.
Do not behead him. Man. So I thought a man was beheaded. Yeah. I proper thought that.
Yeah. And clarity. You're sharing show notes. What was the other thing? The pastor, women that throw themselves at pastors, married pastors anyway, religious leaders, go away. Women that use Christianity to deflect from reality.
Yeah, that needs to be discussed. Because there is a lot of young Christian girlies coming out now.
Right.
And I feel like some of the influencers are a problem.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
That chastity virtue shit. And then you're then lusting after the pastor. Think
Exactly.
about what you're doing here.
Exactly.
And finally, side chicks. Be gone.
Like, just have some
in the bin.
self-respect.
Yeah.
Please.
That's been extra. Auntie Audrey, are you okay? What's going on? Give us a little snapshot of your world.
Oh, nothing. So the Receipts podcast is on a break at the moment. We'll be back in September though. But in the meantime, I'm doing my reality recap show. It's literally called The Recap. So you can find it on the Receipts YouTube channel. It's all still under the same
Nice.
Is it going to be
umbrella.
weekly?
Do you know what? Yeah, I just wanted to get in the studio and do it because I used to do it on Twitter Spaces.
Okay.
So then I was like, oh my God, I've got a studio. Like, why wouldn't I do it in the
Yes.
studio kind of thing? So I actually haven't gotten that far. But as of now, yes, because I'm going into the studio to record another one. So that will come out next week. So for now, yeah, but it might just be a bit more sporadic. We'll see, especially when the Receipts comes out. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be, it's going to be.
I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Watched it with the hubby as well.
Oh, good.
Now I've got him on the reality train.
Oh, amazing. You're doing the
watched
Lord's
it.
work.
It shows. Maybe will you do Love?
Bless you.
Love is Blind.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do Love is
Okay, I'll watch
Blind
you on
and
that
Married
one.
at First Sight and
No,
all of
stop. I
those
said
all of
Love
those
is
things.
Blind.
Yeah, Love is Blind.
Thank you.
Definitely doing Love is Blind.
Perfect match.
100%.
Are you watching that?
No, but my co-hosts do, so they might have their little thing. So my friend Fevin, so she's been doing the spaces with me since day one, and she's been such a godsend because there were times where Anaya would be crying and teething, and she would always hold down the fort. So I brought her on to do, in front of the camera, and then my friend Izza, so she works. You know Izza? She works in the music industry. Yeah, so she works in the music industry, but we bonded over our love for reality TV.
Oh, bless.
So we're both, we just are obsessed. So it's the three of us.
Is Tolly going to do her own thing, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, Tolly does all her writing stuff, and then she's got her platform stories. She's always so busy.
Okay.
So yeah, she's got loads of stuff going on. She doesn't really watch reality TV. She's more like go to the theatre kind of person.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have both of you on, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Actually,
definitely.
we want a receipt.
Yeah, I know. She hasn't been on, has she?
No.
I know.
It's always I don't want it to feel Tolly. It's
No,
Tolly.
it's always a clash. Like she knows it's always a clash of diaries. So yeah, no, I'll definitely she'll be on.
I mean,
that,
you
right?
are a resident.
I know. I'm basically an auntie now.
She can come in as a guest.
Exactly. She can come in as a baby auntie.
When Farah was going and we were like, okay, we're going to have people in. She's like, well, it can only be somebody that has already been on.
Yeah.
And so we was like, okay, so we definitely want Audrey.
Obviously.
We'll have Kelechi on. Maybe they could just do alternate weeks. And then we were like, we're not
get with
paying.
you.
Do you know what?
Yeah,
At
we're
first, though,
not even paying. So
when I read the email, I thought it was that. So I was proper going to be like, okay, so I can do this and then do the multiple. But then I went back and read it, and I was like, Audrey, they're not asking you to come.
literally, that was the idea. But we was like, we can't just be like, okay, we're just going to commandeer your week.
Yeah. That's so cute of you.
No, it's perfect timing because we're on a break.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's even nice to be talking.
Well, it's just nice the fact that we got that community spirit.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you can come in
100%.
anytime.
100%.
How's baby? She good?
So good.
Husband good?
Husband's great. Baby's good. She's going to be 2. You saw them, didn't you?
Yes, I saw them. I went to pick up Okai
Yeah,
from a show he was doing, an advert. And then I was bopping. We were literally, I think he was rapping in my ear. And then your hubby was like, hi.
Because he knows I'll be watching the aunties.
Literally, and he was like, you're one of the aunties,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
And I'm like, yeah. But I never get stopped by men. So I was really like, oh, this is so strange.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, that's Audrey's daughter. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
really
That's so cute.
But it was the way she was looking at me. She just was like,
I know, she just stares. She's like,
there was nothing. I was like,
yeah, she
"Ah."
gives it nothing.
Just looking. No, she is so cute though.
Thank you.
So you're all good. Everything's good.
Yeah, everything's great. Yeah.
You're good.
I am good.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Good.
Happy.
I'm happy.
There we go.
Good.
Really happy.
Fantastic.
Guys, that's it. Stay blessed. Like truly blessed.